Hey, welcome to the layout. Oh hey, it's Don, and if you're watching this video when it actually comes out, it's Christmas time. And, well, the end of the year is soon also. So, hey, stick around to the end of the video, we'll talk a little bit more. Alright, here we go.
You having some needle nose pliers?
So many.
Doctor?
So, this is Don from the Nearly Historical Railroad channel. And today, I'm just gonna hang out. We'll talk a little bit about stuff and things. But I'm gonna talk to you about staging yard stuff. So, when we moved this layout, we spent like a day packing up rolling stock and locomotives and that type of stuff that was on the staging yard and on the layout. And that was years and years ago. And a couple days ago, my dad opened up 2 of the other boxes that we had not opened yet. And that's what's in there, plus other stuff. So this is really cool. I'm not even working on anything tonight. I don't know if I'm going to, but Jim just discovered something, and I gotta show you this. So on the standard gauge layout over here, this is the land that we deeded over to Jim. But in the past, we've talked about doing cattle over here on the left, possibly, like a cattle yard or something over here. And there was this siding. It's like, well, maybe we could use that to load cattle, but how do they get across the track? One idea was, you know, we make a little path that goes under that bridge and goes around over that way. Another idea was like, well, maybe we can make, you know, like a tunnel that goes under the track right here or something like that. So these are just ideas we've been kicking around for like a year. And so Jim was over here working on stuff, and he found some scenery that he didn't really like that much, so he started pulling it out. And there is a little overpass thing for you to go under the track, like right in that area. Didn't even know that was there. So this just like really proves how train layouts evolve and change over time. It's okay to change your mind to do something different, just cover something up or tear something out, which you've seen a lot of that on this channel. But so I don't know if we're gonna use this or not, but we just discovered it. It's kind of cool. Thought we'd share that with you. Here's the paper that was wadded up and stuck in that little hole. The Downy Eagle. I think there was a date. What was the date? Oh, right there. What is that?
Friday, September 18th.
Oh, 1998. More recent than I expected.
I did not know just where you were going to put that other track.
I want to hug as close as I can to this one and come through there.
So, talking about Jim's area, and we haven't really told you what we're doing with it. But we're gonna run cattle. To here. So we're actually gonna, or Jim is gonna put in a siding from here all the way down to this turnout down there, and that will kind of parallel this track. And we're gonna put in, Jim's gonna put in a large cattle yard, cattle pen, a large cattle pen in this area. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're kind of discussing that, seeing what turnouts we have, what we can use and what not. Still, I haven't done anything tonight, but I'm gonna show you some stuff about the staging yard, because we've kind of touched on that a couple of videos back, and we have in the past, but I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so the reason I'm even talking about the staging yard is because my dad's kind of been working on getting prepared to maybe put that in place. We talked about changing out tortoises to make that easier. So anyways, this layout, when we moved it, we didn't reuse the existing legs that were on it. So we just put legs where we needed them. And so he's had to move some of those legs around a little bit to make room for the staging yard. But again, this staging yard went the entire length of this layout. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of the yard. I got a light back here, make it a little better. So the lighting's not great back here, but here is, you know, part of this yard. And like I said, it goes all the way to the end down there, or it will. And this here is another piece for it that goes to the opposite direction behind us. So there's some manual, you know, switches here. There's a lot of signals, show you that in a second here. A lot of the signals on there. So the power supply that ran all that, well, yeah, we just gotta figure out how all these signals worked. There's some old relays and some interesting, fancy, you know, electronics involved that were put together, you know, back in the 70s or 80s or sometime like that. So, look at this. Here's an old, like, coil turnout machine. Probably changed that out, but I bet it still works. So, you know, we'll see what happens. So this is one of the power supplies that ran this lower staging yard. And there's a big capacitor in there for the coil switch machines. We may reuse part of this. Not sure if we'll reuse those transformers, but we'll see what happens. I mean, this was put together in, like, you know, the 70s. But hey, I think this stuff is probably still working fine. So we'll get to that at some point. But that's part of the challenge of figuring out all of this. What it all means, what it all meant, what we should replace, change, or keep, or not. Okay, so you've seen this yard here, and there's this track that comes off right here, and you notice it goes down. So it goes down into there, it goes underneath, and loops way around this way, and loops around, and comes out right there. And that goes into a tunnel there, and then underneath into the staging yard. All right, so when you come down that canyon, right there is where it goes into the tunnel and comes out into this staging yard. That staging yard has a reverse loop on it, and that's what this little kind of diorama thing belongs to. So this is not connected up. It just will go off into there. In fact, there's some of the original road bed for it. Spline. Don and John, they did some more work on this last golden spike area to get the train to go all the way around the room. So that's the end of the video. Scott was here, Jim was here, John was here, I was here, and Don was here, so that's cool. Jim made a cool discovery. You saw that. Don and John, they worked on that little golden spike area, the last spot where we need to get that little bridge in place to make a complete loop around the entire room. That's pretty cool. And Scott, he worked up on the Kenosha Pass area a little bit more. So that's cool. And then you and I, we talked about the staging yard, because that's a neat little area, and we're kind of making progress to getting that going. Like I said, there's some crazy wiring to figure out. We'll get there. So that's pretty cool. So, you know what? It's Christmas, and it is almost a new year, and that means that I've done this for 1 year, and I kind of made a personal goal to shoot videos and upload a video once a week all year long and not miss a week. And with this video now that you're watching, I have accomplished that goal. I've got 49 layout update videos, and 2 layout tour videos, and then 1 kind of derailed video, a little bit different one, that when we went on a trip and checked out the layout over in Sacramento. So, you know, I guess we'll see you next year. I want to thank you all for watching and subscribing and leaving comments. It kind of encourages me, and when I kind of gain more subscribers, that encourages me too. So thank you all, all of you people out there and we'll see you next year. All right, I think I'm done with it. All right, goodbye. See you later.